Some words are just better in German. Today I'm going to teach you my personal favorite German words and why you should love them too. Compound nouns that are greater than the sum of their parts. Die Tollwut, rabies. Literally great rage, but the word toll in Tollwut doesn't actually mean great, but crazy. Toll is an old word for verrückt. Tollwut, therefore, is just crazy rage, which kind of explains what this actually is. Die Nacktschnecke, slug, literally a naked snail. Der Zungenbrecher, tongue twister. In German, you break your tongue. It's a tongue breaker. Das Luftschloss, a dream that will likely never come true, literally an air castle. Das Kopfkino, playing a scenario out in your mind, literally a head cinema. Das Drachenfutter, a gift given to a loved one as an apology, literally dragon feed, which I think is a great analogy for a woman scorned. Das Hüftgold, extra fat around the midsection, also called hip gold in German. Die französische Krankheit. It's an old word for syphilis, literally the French disease. Die Windpocken, chickenpox. In German, they are Windpox, Windpocken. Der Durchfall, diarrhea, literally through fall. I bet you can't come up with a one-word translation for this category. Der Ohrwurm, earworm, a song that gets stuck in your head. Das Fernweh, the opposite of homesickness, a desire to travel. Fernweh. Der Kummerspeck, grief or sadness fat. Many people on the internet seem to think that this translates as grief bacon, but they're stretching the meaning just a bit. It's more closely related to the word fat, as other translations for the word Speck include fat or lard. Das Fremdschämen, shame for something that someone else has done. Basically, whenever somebody does something stupid and you're like, oh, I feel really bad for that person. I feel shame, even though it's not me who did that thing. Die Torschlusspanik, gate closing panic. Torschlusspanik derived from the times when cities had walls and gates. At a certain time, the gates were closed overnight. If you came too late, you had to spend the night outside of the city gates. Nowadays, Torschlusspanik describes the fear of missing out on something important in your life, like a marriage or having children. Torschlusspanik. You're not getting any younger, dear. Der Treppenwitz, a joke that you come up with while you're walking away from an argument. Der Weltschmerz, this melancholic pain that you feel when you watch the world and its current state. Die Schnapsidee, an idea that you had when you were drunk. It's literally Schnaps, which is schnapps, and Idee, which is an idea. It's an idea that you could only have had while drunk. Verschlimmbessern, to make things worse while trying to make them better, a combination of the word verbessern, to make better, and verschlimmern, to make things worse or exacerbate. Der Kevinismus or der Chantalismus, a person who is perceived to have lower intelligence or behavioral problems or otherwise just be unsuccessful because their parents gave them an un-Germanic sounding name. A bonus word would include Alpha Kevin, which is someone who is especially dumb. Die Ostalgie, being nostalgic for things that you had in East Germany. Ostalgie is from the word Ost and Nostalgie, which is nostalgia, so it's Eastalgia if you wanted to try and translate that literally. Ostalgie. German words that sound like English words, but they don't mean the same as that English word. Der Rahmen, frame. I just think it sounds like the noodles that are predominantly eaten by poor college students in the United States. I'm waiting for someone to make a picture frame out of ramen. That would be a ramen. Der Muckefuck, a coffee substitute. There is no such thing as a coffee substitute. There is coffee and not coffee. There is no substitute. If you are in the unfortunate situation of being served such a disgraceful drink, you may find yourself saying Muckefuck. Die Fahrt, He said fart. Der Fuchs. I'll say that one again. Der Fuchs. What kind of animal is that? That's a Fuchs. Fuchs. Das Fach. It means compartment or container, but it's used to refer to subjects or disciplines in education as a figurative version of that same word. I like it because it sounds like an English word that it is clearly not. Fach. Fach. Das Schließfach. If you add any word that starts with an S to the beginning of a word that sounds like Fach, it's objectively funny. Schließfach. Honorable mention goes to die Schießbude. Schießen means to shoot, but Buddha sounds like Buddha, so why are they shooting Buddha? That sounds awful. Words that are a bit more fun if you know their origin. Pendeln, from the noun pendel, which is a pendulum. This is a verb that literally says swaying back and forth, but translates as to commute. It's to travel back and forth from place to place. I think it's kind of cool. Pendeln. Die Notlüge, literally an emergency lie. It's generally translated as a white lie or a lie that doesn't really do any harm, but it's born out of necessity. Notlüge, emergency lie. Emergency lie, activate! Haha! Das Fettnäpfchen. Fett is fat and Näpfchen is a saucer. It's a saucer of fat that is used in a colloquialism ins Fettnäpfchen treten, which comes from the time when there was a saucer of fat that was kept near the stove. A Napf is a container that usually is used to feed animals, and a Näpfchen is a smaller version of that. If you accidentally step into this Fettnäpfchen, it would be an awkward encounter the next time that you saw the housewife or the maid. This phrase, therefore, is used to describe a situation that makes it awkward for you the next time that you see that same person. It's a way of ruining a relationship. So what are your favorite German words? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're here, have you seen this video? I think you'll like it. Click that box over there and I'll meet you at the next URL. Tschüss!